you're probably asking why this is important. Well, okay, so here's how we can use solubility product constants. Typically we use these to calculate the solubility of a compound. This relationship can also be used to predict the relative solubility of different substances. The solubility rules can be quantitatively related to KSP, in which KSP's values greater than 1 correspond to soluble salts. And so a lot of these KSP values that we've seen already have negative exponents. Okay, those are indicating very, very small values, meaning the substances are typically insoluble or slightly soluble and only dissolve a very, very small amount. Okay, so let's do example 20-3. It says calculate the molar solubility of barium sulfate in pure water and the concentration of barium and sulfate ions in saturated barium sulfate. Okay, now here it is given for barium sulfate the KSP is 1.1 times 10 to the negative 10. Okay, so in the previous problems we were given some starting value, at least in terms of grams, that we could convert molar solubility. Here all we're given is our KSP. So we're going to first start this equation out by writing an accurate reaction. Okay, so barium sulfate. We know that it will break down to be a 2 plus and SO4 2 minus. Now what we're trying to find ultimately is this. Okay, so let's use that. Now, if we know barium sulfate is some value concentration, when it dissolves we can say, okay, X and X, since it's all 1 to 1 to 1. Given the KSP and the given, or the expression that we can write, we can plug these values in and kind of work backwards. Okay, and so KSP is given to be 1.1 times 10 to the negative 10. We would multiply that X times X, so basically X squared. Okay, now once we solve for that, okay, X, I'm going to kind of move up here. When we solve for X in this case, okay, I get 1.0 times 10 to the negative 5 molar. This would be the respective concentrations for Ba2 plus and SO4 2 minus. Now, it asks to calculate the molar solubility, okay, and the concentration of barium and sulfite ions in the solution. So we've answered the problem. Okay. If a question, though, I'm going to take this kind of a step further. If a question asks for grams or mass of barium sulfate, okay, then you guys can take the value that you got here, and this is in moles per liter, okay, and calculate, just like we did before, how many grams we would have started out with.